I had myself on mute. Okay. Hello and welcome to Restorative Yoga for Sleep for this live class. We're so glad you joined us today. Sorry about the mute. I had myself on mute just to save battery power because we're just ridiculously frugal like that. Silly, the rechargeable batteries too. But also we don't want to run out during the live feed. So let's say hello to the people who are joining us again. We'll start from the top.
Say hello to Viviana from Buenos Aires.
Hello to Viviana from Buenos Aires. Thank you for joining us, Argentina.
We've got Rennie.
Hello, Rennie from Hungary.
We've got Nikki from...
Hello, Nikki from West Virginia.
And... one second here. I'm just going to click here where it says...
So today we're going to be doing a restorative yoga for sleep. You're going to need probably all your props. I like to have a mat, a blanket down on top of my mat for a restorative class for extra comfort, 2 blocks, a bolster, some cushions are a good idea, maybe a blanket to pull over top of you, an eye pillow to put over top of your eyes is a good idea as well. Yeah, it's going to be a great class, very calming and restorative class.
Can you just ask them to make sure...
Let's just check in on the sound. Let me know if the sound is okay. I tend to project a little bit more on a live class, but I'd rather save my voice if I can. I've got a super long day today.
Myra from Venezuela.
Hello, Myra from Venezuela. Wow, Venezuela is well represented today. I thought there might be a lot of people today because it's Good Friday and a lot of people are off work. So let us know if you're off work today. I've got a few questions that I wanted to address before the live stream as well, so we can do a couple of questions. We'll start right at the top of the hour in about 11 minutes.
And hello from UK, from Jane Monroe.
Hi, Jane from the UK. Have you got your snow for Easter? I want to know if I think they might have been expecting snow for Easter, so you can let me know if that's come. So one of the questions that I wanted to address is the difference between yin yoga and restorative yoga, because we've been doing a lot of yin yoga on this channel. I thought that it would be, as we go back into a restorative class now, it'd be good to address the difference between the two. So yin yoga and restorative yoga are both incredibly nourishing in that they will both build the yin well in your body. They'll build up your energy. They're restorative. You can think of them like adaptogenic practices. So if you think about your adrenal glands and your kidneys, they'll build that jing qi in your body, that energy reserve in your body, both of them. However, the differences lie in the way that we practice. So in a yin class, we want to feel sensation in our bodies. It's more of an energetic practice. So we'll come into the pose, we'll find an appropriate edge, we'll feel the sensation in the pose. We want to feel sensation, we don't want it to be sensational. And then we stay in the pose, we stay with that edge for the whole pose. Now with restorative yoga, we want to come into the pose and we want to let the props support us for the entire pose. So we want to be completely relaxed in the pose. We want to let gravity and the props hold us. We want to completely let go, completely relax, let our muscles dissolve, just be held by the earth. So it's very different in that way. We don't want to have any edge. We don't want to have any tension in our bodies. We want to just completely let go. So very different, a very good style of practice if you're injured, if you're sick, if you're recovering from something, a fabulous practice for that. So that's the main difference for me between yin and restorative yoga. You can let me know in the comments too if you have some differences that you hold in your mind between the two practices. Yin also very much focuses on the meridians and the energy channels of the body, and it's quite mindful in its practice. Restorative yoga is as well, but so I would say that the main difference between yin and restorative as well is that yin very much follows the energy channels in the body as well. So In restorative yoga practices, I'm not focusing for me, what the way I teach it, I'm not focusing on the meridian energy channels in the body nearly to the extent that I do in yin yoga class, which is very much focused on the energy channels and the movement of energy in the body, particularly the traditional Chinese medicine energy channels. So that's another main difference. I also had another question that that came to me that I wanted to address, that I think is a very important question. And this question came to me via email. It's from Kat. And Kat's been leaving a lot of great comments on YouTube and on my website. And this is the email that she sent to me. She said, "I'm loving your videos, particularly enjoying the restorative and yin ones you have. I'm currently enjoying a yin yoga practice every day. I was really wondering what the best would be, alternating yin with more yang like vinyasa or hatha classes. I'm relatively new to the yin yoga, but I enjoy it a lot. I'm just wondering about how much of the different yoga styles to incorporate into my week. I love doing yoga at home, and because I'm full-time looking after my autistic 6-year-old daughter, the benefits for me are really good after a big day. I'd love to hear from you on how often to incorporate the yin sessions into a week. I do yoga every day, even sometimes if it's only for 15 minutes, but I need that healing fix. Thank you so much for all that you share." So I think this is a really good question because for me, when we come to our yoga mats, I think it's important not to be prescriptive about our practice. That is, that we shouldn't come to our practice with laying down all these ideas and prescriptions and goals onto our practice. For me, when we come to our yoga mats, it's really important to take some time to sit and tune into our bodies and see what's happening in our bodies. Find out where our energy is, tune into all of our bodies, our physical bodies, our emotional bodies, our energetic bodies, our mental bodies, our spirit bodies, and just see what our body needs that day. And then once you know what's happening in your bodies, in your whole being, you can attend to what's happening and choose a practice that's going to bring balance to that. The thing is, we live in a very yang dominant world, and if as a result our nervous systems are incredibly overstimulated, and in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with balancing that overstimulated nervous system with yin and restorative practices on a day-to-day basis. If when you come to your yoga mat, you are finding yourself incredibly overstimulated in your mind, in your emotional body, mentally, emotionally, even spiritually, then it's really important that we attend to that in our yoga practice. And that can take a really long time, and we need to have a lot of patience with it. Because if we're spending the other 23 hours of our day being overly stimulated by a yang dominant world, then of course we need to spend that hour on our mat or 15 minutes on our mat, bringing some balance to it with a yin style practice. So it's all about finding that balance and really tuning into it, and also bringing our practices off our mat. If we're finding every time we sit down and tune into our bodies that we're experiencing a nervous system that's hyper aroused, then we can start to explore ways that we can bring more yin balance into our lives if we're experiencing so much yang overstimulation. And that will come in time too. Our practice will start to seep off our lives, and we'll notice that we'll start to make changes so that there's not so much yang overstimulation. So that's my answer to you. Just tune in, see what you need, and respond to the needs of your body. If it's yin every day, then do yin every day, and you'll see you'll do what's right for you. So, Tim, yeah.
I was going to say, make sure you say hello, Simone.
Hello, Simone. Welcome.
Welcome. And Myra's from San Cristobal, Venezuela.
Hello, Myra from San Cristobal, Venezuela. Lots of people from Venezuela.
Jane Monroe said restorative is good for her fibromyalgia in her body.
Jane says restorative is good for fibromyalgia. It's wonderful for people with chronic illness, for sure, chronic fatigue.
We've got Yana from Budapest as well.
Hi, Yana from Budapest.
And Sergio from Medellin, Colombia.
Sergio from Medellin, Colombia. Oh my gosh, all these people from places I've never been. It's amazing.
Renata says it's work off here. She's off for the day.
Rennie's off work for today. Rennie works really hard.
A drive from a friend's place and now waiting for the Easter Bunny.
Rennie's waiting for the Easter Bunny.
And for restorative yoga, of course.
I'd like the Easter Bunny to come here too.
Oh, Jackie Phillips in Spain.
Jackie's in Spain.
And lots of love and lots of people saying, and just say thank you for the thumbs up. That's really fun.
So thank you for all the thumbs up and thank you for being here today. It's wonderful to have you here and leaving the comments. And I think it's pretty much the top of the hour now, isn't it?
I think we are
Yeah.
ready to go. We'll just do a quick transition to the...
So the way we usually run the classes is that once we start, we go right into the class, and then I hold space for you for a normal class, and I don't really interact with you the way we are right now until the end of the class, and then we can talk again. Tim takes care of comments through the class, but
Elka from Holland.
Elka? Hi, Elka from Holland. And then at the end of the class, we can talk again. So you can hold your comments for me to respond to in real time. There's a little bit of a lag at the end, and I'd be happy to hold them, answer for them for you there. Do you find you're so worried about the anxieties of the next day that you have difficulties falling asleep? In the rest of this restorative yoga for sleep, we're going to enter into a kinship with sleep with a reverence that allows us to let go of the thinking mind and body. Hi, I'm Melissa from Yoga with Melissa. I offer real yoga for real people every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific. And the last Friday of every month, we have a live class like today. And when you subscribe and press that little bell, you get some great yoga classes showing up in your YouTube subscription feed, including coming up, we've got Yin Yang at Home, and we've got some great beginner classes coming up for you as well. Today you are going to need a bolster, 2 blocks, you're going to need a blanket, and you're going to need a wall. So thanks to Dusky Leaf for our props. We're going to start with legs up the wall today. So to come into legs up the wall, if you just get your hips right up against the wall with your knees bent, and then you can swing your legs around and bring your legs up the wall. Now, if you have any low back issues, I would encourage you to bring your feet flat on the wall and keep your knees bent. If your feet start to tingle, we are going to be here for a good length of time. We're going to stay here for 10 minutes today. Then you can bend your knees as well and take a break. And when the blood comes back to your feet, you can lengthen your legs up. So just start by feeling the heaviness of your head on the ground. Letting go of the tension in your shoulders. And breathing into your low belly. So Ruben Nyman, who is he's a doctor who specializes in sleep, he says, too often we dash through sleep to get to the next morning's awakening. Are we reflexively fixating on the shoreline of tomorrow morning's awakening? Or will we allow ourselves to descend deeply into the sea of sleep? He asks, to descend deeply into the sweet waters of sleep, we must stop focusing on the shoreline of tomorrow morning's awakening. As useful as thinking is in our waking life, it inhibits sleep just as light inhibits night. And just as we can walk along the water's edge, but cannot walk in deep water, we can think our way to the brink of slumber, but not directly into deep sleep. The actual transition into sleep requires us to let go of thinking. Ruben Nyman. Okay, so take a couple of breaths, open and close your eyes a few times, and then you're going to bend your knees. Let your transitions be slow. You're going to roll to your side. And then you can move slowly. You can leave your mat like this, or you can move it to a better place in your room. Whatever works best for you. For the next pose, you're going to need your bolster and a block. And you are going to need a strap for this class too, I just realized. So if you take a block and place it underneath your bolster like that, then you're going to walk your knees to the left side, lower your hips down. You're going to lengthen your spine long and lower it down on the bolster. Turn your head to the side and lower it down. And that's the pose. It's a front lying twist. Nice gentle twist. And you want to just exhale and let go of everything here. So let go of all the senses that track and scan your waking world. Close your eyes and open all the senses, all your internal senses, the ones that can see in the dark. And awaken your nighttime consciousness, the natural world of darkness and shadows, where sleep is in its natural habitat. Okay, so you're going to slowly lift yourself up out of this side. And we're going to go ahead and make our way onto the other side. So this time you're going to walk your knees to the right side. Lower your left hips down to the ground. And then you're going to lengthen your spine long. Lower your chest down. And turn your left side of your head onto the bolster. Okay, we're going to make our way out of this recline, this front lying twist. And you're going to keep your props exactly the same for this one. And we're going to do child's pose now. Now, if this bothers your knees and your ankles and your feet, you can always lie on your back for this one and do knees to chest instead. You could do knees to chest with your feet on the wall. That would be a good option here. Otherwise, you can take child's pose here with your bolster between your knees and turn your head to one side. We can enter into our relationship with sleep with reverence and sacred ceremony. It's an inner development, a kinship with sleep so that our thoughts can slow down, our body can release its tension, our emotions can unravel, we can meet our exhaustion and open to the mystery of spirit. This is a meaningful time when we listen like a true friend to the exhaustion of our body and the need for rest. Our inner companion of sleep allows us to let go of the distractions of the waking world and surrender to bone-deep fatigue. Okay, very gently peel yourself out of child's pose or knees to chest. The next pose takes some setting up, but it's worth it. You're going to need your bolster, 2 blocks, and a blanket and a strap. Tim, can you pass me a strap? There should be one in that. Yes. So you'll put your bolster like this, your 2 blocks at the foot of your bolster. If you have 2 bolsters, you can just line up 2 bolsters, but I'm assuming most people don't have 2 bolsters. And then you're going to basically make a second bolster by putting a blanket and a bolster. And then you'll need your strap with a big loop that you can put around your legs so that your legs don't fall off this bolster, because you're going to sit up on the bolster. So you're going to sit on the bolster and you're going to put the strap around your legs, and then you just tighten the strap around your legs, and then you just figure out how you can lie on the bolster so that your shoulders are completely off and the rest of your body is on and supported. And then we're just going to hang out here. This is supported shoulder stand. This pose is a wonderful release for your psoas muscle, which attaches at the front of your iliac crest and then at the back of your spine, at the front of your spine, at the back of your body. So as you're breathing, if you can just focus on each exhale, letting your psoas release and sink and drop, it will bring a really wonderful relaxation response to your whole nervous system. It will help you to down-regulate, which can be really wonderful as you prepare for sleep. Okay, so we're going to slowly make our way out of this pose. So just carefully bend your knees and roll off the props. And then make your way up. And then you can take your strap off your legs. And then for our final pose before Shavasana, we're going to set up our bolster again. I'm quite liking working with the incline, so I think we're going to take one block on the narrow setting, one block on a wide setting, and so you've got an incline there. And then take some pillows or blankets, because you've used your blocks now. And you're going to place them underneath your knees. We're going to do reclined Baddha Konasana. So you bring the soles of your feet together, fill the space underneath your knees with the blankets or blocks or pillows, whatever you've got going. I'm just going to reset this timer. And then we're going to rest back for Supta Baddha Konasana, recline bound angle pose. Taking your arms out to the side, you get a nice chest opener. You're like, it's also called reclined goddess pose, so you're sleeping goddesses now. Through sleep, we meet the dark cave of night in our inner bodies. In sleep, we welcome the magic of the inner well, the primordial womb from which our life force is birthed. When we withdraw from the forward trajectory of the waking world, we enter into an alchemical world where refuge and rest are the birthplace of vitality. With sleep, there is an offering. In surrendering to this gift, which is freely given each night, we unfold into rest and rejuvenation, healing and calmness, stillness and tranquility, quiet from the activity of the day. Drift down into the deep waters of sleep and receive the gift of renewal. Okay, so we're going to slowly bring our legs back together. Roll to your side. And we're going to make our way down for a nice long Shavasana. So pull a blanket up over top of you, put an eye cushion on your eyes. Place the bolster underneath your knees. Rest back. You can place your hands on your belly. And settle in for a nice long Shavasana. So keep resting back in Savasana, receiving your restorative practice. I'm just sitting up to read you a poem to enhance your restful experience. This is a poem that I wrote called For the Love of Sleep. There is a greater world that draws me home each night. Slowing down into this nightly retreat, I welcome the release of excessful wakefulness. Relinquishing the day and all it's doing, I fall headlong into the softness of its embrace. Surrendering to the sacred nourishment that befriends me as darkness descends. Unraveling into the stillness of the ocean's depth, healing respite is generously offered under the receptive blanket of the grace of night. Gradually allow your breath to deepen. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Open and close your eyes a few times, adjusting to the light in the room. Bend your knees. Roll to your right side. Pause there. And then slowly make your way up to seated so we can gather in the fruits of our calming restorative yoga class for sleep, first into ourselves and then offer them out into the world with our mudra and mantra series. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to the happiness and freedom for all. So thank you so much for joining us for this restorative calming yoga class for sleep. If you made it all the way to the end of the class, then be sure to put "I'm surrendering to the gift of sleep" in the comments. Thanks for pressing the like button and sharing this class with your friends on social. I know that sleeplessness and insomnia is a big problem in our world because of excessive wakefulness. So thank you so much for sharing and offering a solution to so many people that are suffering with this problem. If you would like my best 7 days of yin yoga, restorative yoga, and short yoga videos for sleep, then go to melissawest.com/sleep and I will send that to your inbox. And thank you to Joshua in Ennis for supporting Yoga with Melissa with your donations. And thanks to Squeeze Yoga Clothing for my clothes. Today I was wearing black capris and a bamboo top with an Om symbol on it. So thanks so much for joining us for our live class. I'm sending you much love from beautiful British Columbia. May your joy be as deep as our ocean. May you be as strong as the old growth trees in our forest. And may you be as rooted as the old growth trees in our forest and as strong as our mountains. Om Shanti. Namaste. We'll take some time to say hello to people and answer any questions that you might have or comments, and then we will wrap it up.
Simone really enjoyed the poem.
Oh, thank you, Simone. I haven't shared one of my own poems in a really long time, since beginner's class on intention, I think. So thank you. I've been writing some poetry every day this month, so I thought I'd share that one.
Nikki and Jackie both said, "I'm surrendering to the gift of sleep," with thumbs up.
Good. So sleep is like my best friend. Jackie and Nikki. Wonderful, beautiful members in our community.
Sergio said he loved the class. He tries to practice every day.
Sergio says he loves the class, and that's great. Having practice every day is such a support in our lives, so I'm proud of you for practicing every day.
He's noticing big gains, that's good.
So tell me a little bit, Sergio says he's noticing big gains. Just let me know in the comments what differences you're noticing in your life. It's good to hear that too, what differences you're noticing.
Jackie loved the poem.
Oh, thank you, Jackie. Jackie, another beautiful member and leader in our community.
Pumpkin Pants loved the episode.
Becky said she loved the episode. Thank you, Becky. I hope that the class helps you. I know that Becky has some issues with sleeping too, so I hope that helps. And actually, Becky, send me an update. I'd like to know how your sleeping is going.
Sleepwalking a little bit. Rennie thought that technically the stream was awesome.
Yay, Rennie, thank you for the feedback on the technical part of the streaming, because we'd been having some issues the last two, and thank you for still showing up. Tim did a great job of calling our provider and finding new solutions and getting a new modem and all of that good stuff. So yes, thank God, finally a seamless stream.
I think I messed it up. So
oh, you did?
I think so, yeah. I think I did a horrible job. So, but
okay.
Next time I'm going to get even better.
You know what? With live, there's always going to be some issues. So we really appreciate your patience with it. And, you know.
Having your mic turned on at the beginning.
Yeah. Right. But when we record, we can provide you with a seamless experience. But when we're live, we get to be together. And then there's always going to be a few bumps. That's kind of the beauty of live, is that you get to see the flaws. You know.
So Nikki and Jan both thought your poem was beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Nikki and Jan. You guys are being very kind about the poetry. I'm actually, part of today is I've joined a poetry meetup group, and they're very active. They get together a lot. So tonight I'm going to like a little pizza party with the poetry group, and we're going to practice reading our poems out loud. Very, very high stress situations. They're going to get a mic and what do you call the little thing where you put the like the little speaker where you put it out? Like an amp, a mic and an amp and,
Oh, wow.
and lights and everything, so we can practice so that next time there's a slam, because I went to a slam on Wednesday and quite a few people from our group read, but I wasn't feeling brave enough to read yet. So, but I read to all of you, and people are very kind when you read. So
Valerie would like to know if she can borrow it as a reminder. She's also starting to do it.
yes, you may absolutely borrow it. And Valerie, yes, you can borrow it, and I'll put it up. Maybe we'll put it in the show notes, Tim.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
There'll be the show notes
Yeah.
tomorrow
Mhm.
and or later today. Rennie's off at 7 p.m. in Hungary, so she's off for a bath and she's in love with sleep.
Rennie's in love with sleep. You know what? It's really, as far as sleep goes, it's really good to develop this loving relationship with sleep. Like, let sleep be, if you have a partner already or a wife or husband or, boyfriend, girlfriend, let sleep be your mistress and just be in a loving relationship with sleep. That is the best thing that you can do. Every night when I go to bed, I think about entering into that loving relationship with sleep. So that's the best thing that you can do, is just be in love with sleep. Have a beautiful, loving, and woo sleep.
Can you repeat this out loud? So Marta says
Mart-
hi there.
Hi, Marta.
I'm new here, started yoga a month ago.
Welcome. Marta's new. She started a month ago. Good for you.
First live class.
Welcome to the live classes, Marta.
She thought it was beautiful. She really liked it.
I'm so glad you enjoyed this class. I think it was a beautiful class too. Tim thought it was great too.
She
Yeah.
doesn't know why she cried for half the class.
Oh, Marta. So Marta cried for half the class. So crying, emotional release is actually really common during the class. And can everybody who's had emotional release during the class, if you spent half a class crying, just let Marta know in the comments that you've also done that. So Tim, can you put in the comments that Melissa's also spent a lot of time crying on the yoga mat? So what happens is in life, we have things that happen to us and they're too much at the time. And when they're too much, our body freezes up against them and we hold them in our bodies until such time when our bodies feel completely safe and willing to let them go. And so I feel really honored, Marta, because today it sounds like this class was a time when your body felt safe and it let go enough to release some tears, some emotional